After a group of pro-Trump students celebrated on campus. This TikTok video showing the group of mostly boys with Trump flags and MAGA hats. School leaders say they kept an eye on things and stepped in when things got out of hand. School leaders say they are now restricting students from gathering in order to keep all students safe. They say students can still express themselves in an orderly manner.
Wait, one person at a time.
He's taking away women's health care. What do you have to say about
I said besides that.
What do you mean besides that?
There is no besides.
Besides that, what else? What else?
Okay,
I know that's the only thing y'all worried about, yo. Getting abortions, don't have sex. Next question.
If a transgender man says that they are a man, they should be respected. And they should be able to have that health care.
No, I'm talking about, I said besides, we talked about the abortion already. Can we talk about anything else that y'all don't agree with?
Immigrants?
On the Project 25.
Immigrants?
Keep, them immigrants don't need to be over here. We need our money and jobs.
All right, guys. So one of the things I said I would be very, very, very proud of following the 2024 election in which Trump wins is if young men came out and voted for Trump in droves. The reverse of 2022 happening where you had a bunch of young women come out and vote Democrat. I wanted young men to come out and to vote Republican, to vote Trump in 2024. And that is what happened. Okay, a lot of men, I believe it was 56% of men, young men, came out and voted for Trump versus 40% of young men voting for Trump in 2020. Okay, so Trump made huge gains among young men. You're now seeing more young men openly supporting Trump, openly supporting the Republican Party, openly supporting the America First movement. And this is something that I love to see, right? This is probably the part about the election that I am the most proud of, okay? It's young men showing up, doing what young men should be doing when their country, our country, is in trouble, right? Taking the country back, okay? Taking the country back, okay? And that is what young men did. And it was always up to young men to save this country. And that's how it should be, and that's how it will be in the future, right? So with that being said, that brings me to a young man here who is on TikTok. I believe his name is Myron. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like he's a Chicago high school student, and he is a Trump supporter. And he is debating the females in his class, the young women, and the teacher following Trump's victory in the election. And essentially, it's just him versus everybody in this class, okay? Because everybody in this class seems to be influenced by left-wing liberal media propaganda. And this guy clearly is not, right? He's clearly the most educated person in this class. And I just found him pushing back against the left-wing liberal media nonsense and the fear-mongering following Trump's victory to be something worth sharing. And it is a great sign that our movement is reaching young men and influencing young men in positive ways. And this is something I just love to see, right? So without further ado, let's get into it.
I don't even like you.
What right is he taking away from women?
He don't like your race. He will spit on you. He don't even
What right is he taking away from women?
He don't like y'all. He don't like none of us. He doesn't like Mexicans. He don't even like his own race.
What right is he taking away from women? Y'all still not answering my question.
That.
I've been asking for like 5 minutes.
Answered it.
What was the answer?
We answered it.
Y'all brought up education once I asked that question.
Because
y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all just go on Twitter, look at what they say, and just run with it.
Myron, you go on Twitter. I watched the debate. I heard everything.
Y'all thought he was taking away abortions. He can't even do that here.
Facts. Trump, as president, can't take away abortions, right? They're not going to ban abortions. But, you know, this is what they talk about, okay? They talk about so-called women's health care and how Trump is taking away women's health care. And that's just simply not happening, right? So this young man is more educated on that issue than these young women are. And you're going to see that throughout this conversation.
Myron, what debate did you watch?
He's so stupid. Yes, please look at the Chromebook. So I want to see what right he's taking.
Let me search it up.
What right? Let's see what right he's taking away from women.
Look at what he's saying.
Let's see what right he's taking away from women. Let's watch it.
Okay, let's see what he's giving you when he is president.
No, what right is he taking away from women?
Let's see what he's doing for you.
Because they said that last time.
The rights and abortion is over.
And y'all also said Project 25. He also said publicly he's not going to do no Project 25.
He's a liar. Do you believe him? He said,
y'all only want Kamala Harris.
Your body, my choice. That's what
Why do you need an abortion? Why do you care about abortion? You're in high school.
It doesn't matter.
You're in high school.
Women get pregnant. Women our ages get pregnant.
Is you getting pregnant? Is you getting pregnant? Did you get pregnant
I
once?
shouldn't have to fear that though.
Are you even a? You're probably a virgin. You're worried about the wrong things, yo. Abortion is never one of y'all lists. We got wars. People trying to have war with us, and y'all worried about abortion. Yo, as they slow, y'all worried about abortion. Y'all not even having sex. Like, look at y'all.
It don't matter if we was.
Wow. Wow. I love this young man. I really do. I love this. It warms my heart. He's right. But this is what the liberal media and the Democrat Party, this is how they've influenced young women to think that abortion is a fundamental right for them, and it's not. Right? It's simply not. Okay? The best thing for these young women to do, if they don't want to have to deal with that issue, is simply to not engage in the activities that lead to young women getting pregnant, right? It's really that simple, okay? So if you don't do that, then again, it's not that big of an issue. Now, again, there are exceptions and there are unfortunate circumstances that happen to women, but again, that is few and far between in regards to why women get abortions, right? That those reasons are at the bottom of the list, okay? In regards to why women are getting abortions. A vast majority of abortions are elective. So for all these young women out here, right, that are worried about their so-called health care and abortion, you know, hey, just don't engage in these risky activities that lead you to getting pregnant. You shouldn't be engaging them in the first place, especially as a teenager. Then you ain't got to worry about it, right? It's not that big of a deal.
Let's focus on the antebellum era during the Civil War, the origins of the Civil War.
Yeah, let's focus on that. People don't want to talk about how Trump is a good president. What's wrong with voting for Trump?
We could, well, just listen, that we could still be friends after the election. I said, no, we can't.
You stop being friends with us because they voted for Trump? Teacher.
Wow.
More.
He's saying you can still be respectful and that you can still have mutual terms with that person despite others having different
What are you talking
sides to
about?
other.
He just said his friends, those that he hang with, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said they asked you if you still gonna be cool after this. Right or wrong. So what are you talking about, ma'am?
No, Dad, again, let's not single anybody out, Myron.
No, because she said that's not what you said. I'm like, what are you talking
She
about?
said anything.
Everybody entitled to their own opinion.
Right. So
Right.
why would you cut somebody off because they voted for Trump?
He didn't say. Well, he can do
But
what
you
he
can't
wants.
dominate the discussion.
I never said you could.
If you want
Wanna cut somebody
if
out?
you want to have some input to the dialogue, then you have to do so in a respectful manner and to be tolerant of each other's views. Now, just because I think I expected that our country citizens were more decent.
Wow.
Because they voted for Trump, they're not?
Yes.
What?
Wow.
He's a messed up person.
Wow. This is the type of left-wing propaganda being pushed in class, guys. Right? You hear this teacher, it sounds like the teacher is basically trying to say that people who voted for Trump are not decent people. Right? I think he also suggested that it's okay to end your friendships with somebody just because they voted for Trump. Now, this is something I only see on the left. I've never seen somebody on the right say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be friends with somebody because they voted for Kamala Harris or they supported Joe Biden. I've never seen that, right? I've never heard that at all. But this is something that is coming up quite a bit on the left, where they're basically telling liberals that, hey, your family members that voted for Trump, yeah, disown them. Your friends that voted for Trump, don't be friends with them anymore.
Challenge with the idea of how do you interact with people who you know voted for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash and said, we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of Black women were incredibly triggered by that. And if you then meet somebody and you know they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, and you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up. So I love that you asked this question because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually
Wow. That is the source of hate and division in this country, guys. That's where it's coming from, guys. It's not coming from Trump. It's coming from the liberal media. It's coming from Democrats. It's coming from the left. They're literally saying on national television, disown your family members if they voted for Trump. Don't be around them. Put politics above your family. Put politics above blood. That's how much of a cult the Democrat Party has become, right? That's cult-like behavior, okay? That's what they're encouraging.
Our citizens not decent because they voted for Trump.
You have your views, and I have mine. I'm entitled to mine.
But that's why you cut them off,
So
because you
if
don't
I have
correlate.
friends that tell me that, oh, MAGA, I can't be friends with them.
Because he voted for Trump.
Because
Exactly.
what? You don't get it. It's
Some
like you don't
people
want to
can't have
surround
their own
yourself by somebody
opinion.
who
Trump
don't-
is a good president. Some of y'all are blindsided by what y'all hear on the internet.
Facts. Shout out to that young man, because it seems as if he has more common sense and decency than the teacher, right? The teacher is sitting here trying to tell these students that it's okay to disown your family members and to end friendships over politics, over supporting Trump. That's crazy. We should not have teachers in this country pushing that type of overt political propaganda in school. Now, maybe this is a political science class. I don't know. That's why they're talking about the election. I don't mind the kids giving their opinions and talking about the election, okay? However, the teacher in that situation should probably be neutral. He should probably not stick his opinions into conversation, especially in the way that this teacher did, in the sense that he's just overtly Trump deranged and clearly trying to influence these kids to agree with his liberal ideology and his Trump derangement, right? Which is probably part of the reason why a lot of these kids seem to be so influenced by the left-wing propaganda is because their teacher is literally pushing it in class, right? So for this Trump-supporting young man to stand up the way that he did required a whole lot of bravery, right? Because clearly he is the minority in that classroom. And I also think that this high school should investigate this teacher and figure out if it's appropriate for that teacher to be overtly political the way that he currently is in class, right? I mean, that's something that I don't think should be acceptable in our public schools, this type of overt liberal propaganda coming from teachers, right? Where they're quite literally trying to tell students how to think, right? Telling students that, hey, yeah, you shouldn't be friends with Trump supporters. Okay, disown your family members that support Trump, right? This type of stuff that's being pushed from the left. No, we can't have that in school, right? And that's part of the problem that we're dealing with when it comes to young people is the influence that these activist teachers have over them in these schools, okay? Whether that be in elementary school, middle school, high school, or college. A lot of these young people are liberal because that is what they've been taught in school. And that is a problem that has to be addressed. Okay, that's a huge problem that has to be addressed because the youth are the future of the country. And Democrats realize this, and this is why they have their activists in schools trying to influence these kids, because that leads to votes and more power for the Democrat Party. So again, shout out to this young man. It took a real act of bravery to stand up the way that he did. He stood on business, and I definitely think he deserves a shout out and all of the praise and glory for what he did. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.